good afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. How you doing? How you getting on? Hope you're well. It's obviously still wearing the hat and the beard's gone mental because I can't get to a barber. So I've now got to make some decisions about whether I shave it off completely when I shave my head. I don't know. I really don't know. But listen guys, I really hope you're doing well. Keeping as sane as possible. And you know, just looking after yourselves. Obviously we're going to try and keep making these videos. Now, one thing I have mentioned over the course of many videos is I've referenced Perfume Parlour quite a few times because I have quite a lot of Perfume Parlour clones. Now, I've never really got into too much detail about reviewing Perfume Parlour because there's lots of guys out there that already do lots of reviews, but I have had quite a few quite a lot of interest in which Perfume Parlour clones I actually own. I know Rich has quite a few as well because they're a very affordable way of finding out about perfumes and getting a wearing experience, because some of them are pretty good, some of them not so much. But what I've got is I've got a few here today that I'm going to go through very, very briefly just to sort of, you know, let you know how good they are, if they smell anything like the original. There's only one here that I don't have either an original sample of or an original bottle of. So there's only one that I haven't smelt the original of, and that's in here. Now, a lot of people do like clones, a lot of people don't like clones. I am completely ambivalent. I will always prefer to have the original. And I don't particularly like clones of perfumes that are made by very small independent niche houses because they're, you know, they're small, they need the revenue. You know, clones of bigger houses I think is fairly acceptable, especially when the bigger houses are charging a lot of money for their fragrances. So what I'm going to do, these are in no particular order. There is one that I think is, one or two that are probably the best. But they're mainly Nasamato and Tom Ford clones that I have here. There's one from Gerov and one from Amouage. But that's about it really. So what I'll do is I'll go through them as quickly as I can and just let you know what I think of it. And don't forget, these are really, really cheap. These are super, super cheap. So if you're looking for an impression of a perfume for not spending very much money, then the Perfume Parlour clones are, well, certainly these ones I do recommend. So if we start off with this one, which is called Argo Gold. This is basically Tom Ford's Oud Wood, a fragrance I absolutely love. I've had samples of Tom Ford's Oud Wood many, many times, but unfortunately it just does not last on my skin. And this Argo Gold isn't 100%, but it's pretty much there. It does a very good impression of Oud Wood, but it does last a very long time. So I'm very, very happy with that one. So well worth a look. Okay, next up we have Extraordinary, which I have, and my wife has a clone of this as well. And this is Perfume Parlour's take on Tom Ford's Fucking Fabulous. Not 100% spot on, but it isn't a bad impression. It smells very much like Fabulous, and it does seem to last quite well as well, because the original didn't last on me at all. So that's another one. Another one from Tom Ford, we have Italian Cypress. Now I do have a real bottle of Italian Cypress, and these are very, very similar. Obviously the real one has a better definition, the greenness is a little bit more, and the earthiness is certainly a little bit more there as well. But this is a pretty good clone of Italian Cypress, and it really lasts. So another good one there. The Tom Ford clones, actually, the ones that I've tried have been really, really good. This is Neroli Portofinos, I think they call it. This is obviously a clone of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. I love this. I actually prefer it to the original because it lasts a lot longer. It isn't quite as bright as the original, but the performance it's a complete game changer. I wouldn't bother buying the original now I've got this. This seems a lot better to me. Okay, and then finally from the Tom Fords we have this, which is Moss Bretches. Moss Bretches was a private label Tom Ford. I think it came out in 2007. It's long been discontinued and you can't get it for love nor money. Even a small amount of it on eBay is going for stupid money. This is the only one I've never smelt. Now, I had to buy it because someone who has actually got the original said the Perfume Parlour clone is pretty good. So I got it and I'm wearing this at the moment and it's beautiful. It's such a wonderful scent. It has a real kind of 80s sort of green, honeyed, foresty feel to it. Outstanding. If you can, I mean, if you can get the original, get it, because if it smells anything like that, it will just be an absolute knockout. But that's Moss Bretches. Really, really good. All right, now we're up to this one here, which is called Defender II. Now this is a clone of Gerov's Alex II. It's not 100%, but it does give that impression. Really, really good performance as well. Very, very long lasting. And certainly when you smell the two side by side, Alex 2 is a lot nicer, don't get me wrong. But this does a really good impression of it. And obviously, you know, Alex 2 is what, £300 for 50 mils. And this, I think, was £14 for 50 mils. Massive difference. And if you're, for example, looking to buy the gel off, but you haven't smelt it, then you could do a lot worse than getting this and living with it for a while. Because 50 mils is a lot. It takes me forever to get through it. And that will give you a really, really good understanding of what the original smells like and how the original behaves. So well worth having a look at. Defender Second. Okay, next up we have Mirror. This is a clone of Amouage's Reflection Man. Again, it's not 100%. It doesn't smell exactly the same, but it does give a really good impression of it and smells quite a lot like it. Performance on this is very, very good. It's borderline beast mode. It really, really belts out. So if you're you know, if you're a fan of Reflection Man and, you know, you want to wear something to kind of protect your limited reserves of it, then have a look at that. It's not that far off, and it's pretty damn good too. So that's that one. And then finally on this run, I have Wood Weave State. This, I've hammered that. This is a really, really good clone of Maison Francis Coeur de Jean's Oud Satin Mood. It smells incredibly alike it. Gets compliments like nothing on earth, and the performance is really, really good. The performance is not far off the original. The original has got biblical performance. So this is, yeah, Wood Weave State, I think this one's called, and that's a clone of Maison Francis Coeur de Jean's Oud Satin Mood. Really, really good fragrance. If you've got the original, you obviously don't need this, and a little of the original goes a very long way, a bit like this one. But obviously super cheap in comparison to the other one. Now, on to my favourites. So the first we have here, and this is called Confusion, and this is a clone of Nascimato's Bararonda, and it smells very, very much like Nascimato's Bararonda. Really, really good boozy frag. In fact, I think Bararonda is often described as the king of the boozy frags, and I wouldn't argue with that, because this, you know, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The thing is with Nascimato's, as I've mentioned many, many times, tiny 30ml bottles. So I've got this is actually a 30ml bottle itself. I don't wear it a great deal, but when I do, it's lovely. If I'm looking for a boozy frag, this is the one I will go for. Yeah, so this is called Confusion 1648, and that is the Bararonda clone. Next up, we have Duro. This is a clone of Nascimato's Duro. Beautiful fragrance. I've referred to this many times as Burt Reynolds in a bottle. And this smells very, very much like the original. It hasn't quite got the depth of the original. And what I will say with all of the Perfume Parlour clones is when you spray them, they take a little while to warm up. A very short amount of time after you've sprayed it, it will then come alive. But don't expect it to come out with the punchiness of the originals, because obviously these are clones. You know, they're never going to be that way, and they're never really going to be 100% as good as the original. But you know, what we're trying to do here is give you an opportunity to get a feel for some stuff that you might want to have a look at when all this. I've actually I'm not buying anything until all this settles down or blows over, or whatever you want to say. I don't want to put any strain on the postal services, and I don't want to. You know, I just don't want to have people coming to interact when I don't need to. So I'm not going to buy anything at the moment. Now, when that is finished, and I will start buying, and I'm sure a lot of you are obviously going to be having sort of money concerns and things like that, have a look at maybe some clones, because it's a good way of treating yourself, it's a good way of enjoying a new fragrance, and it's a good way of saving some cash. So clones are pretty good. Anyway, back to it. Duro. Very, very similar to Duro. Again, ultra masculine, kind of powerhouse of a fragrance. Beautiful, really good clone. It smells an awful lot like the original. Okay, now the next one up is this. Now this is Perfume Parlour's take on Nascimato's Black Afghano. This is the first one I got. It's called Black Afgh. As you can see, the juice is still there. It smells exactly the same. And this is the new. They now call it Strong Pantone. Again, the black liquid. Still, this is so much like Black Afghano. It's unbelievable. I'm pretty sure I could side by side wear them, and I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. And I'm pretty sure that people that have Black Afghano will smell this on me and think it is Black Afghano. Maybe a little bit of the magic from Black Afghano is not in this, but as for a rough facsimile, you're not going to get a better clone, I don't think. It's amazing just how well they've done that. So yeah, that's that. And then my number one, my favourites, is called Pardoned, and I think you can pretty much guess that this is a clone of Nascimato's Pardon, one of my all-time favourite fragrances. And I find I wear this almost as much as I wear my original bottle. In fact, I probably wear this a lot more than my original, because obviously it's a very expensive perfume. It only comes in a 30ml bottle, and I want to protect it for very special occasions. But I love the smell so much, I will wear it around the house. I mean, if I could wear it all the time, but obviously because it is an expensive perfume, I'm not going to do that. And this clone just helps protect my reserves a bit. It smells so alike. I would again have trouble telling them apart when I'm wearing one or the other. Really, really spot on. Again, with all of them, the openings are slightly out, and you don't quite get the development with Perfume Parlour Clones. What happens is, sorry, my son's just waving at me. With Perfume Parlour Clones, they don't develop in the same way as the originals. So the originals are always going to be a better option, especially if you're familiar with the fragrance. But what I'm saying is these are an excellent way of getting an understanding of the fragrance, because all the ones I've mentioned here are pretty good, pretty damn, not spot on, you're never going to get spot on, but they're really pretty close to it. So that was my lot. They're the ones that I've got that I've really enjoyed. I have some others which I think are pretty good, but these are the ones that I really, really rate. These are my favourites out of the ones I've got. Rich has also got quite a few as well, and we'll discuss possibly doing it. We are, as a channel, we're not really set up to do loads of reviews of Perfume Parlour Clones and things like that. There's lots of other people out there that do that, and they do that better than us. But I just thought, as you know, the ethos of questioning sense is that we talk about the perfumes that we own, the perfumes that we wear, and we do wear them. So it is kind of within our remit to review them, because we do wear them. So there you go. I don't think I'll be doing any more reviews of Perfume Parlour fragrances unless there's a big demand for it. But there you go. Listen, my young lad is obviously bored, so I need to keep being a teacher and you know, a comedian and entertainer, what have you, everything I can to keep him sane. So listen, as always, thank you very much for your time. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing really, really well, all things considered. And I will try and get a video done as soon as we can, so we can get it out there for you guys. Listen, thank you ever so much for your time. As I always say, it's always appreciated, and I genuinely mean it. It really is. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers and bye.